There are moments when life calls us to walk alone. A silent journey, away from the distractions of the world, where the soul finds the chance to speak and be heard. This inner silence, often feared, is actually a sacred sanctuary, where our true essence can finally emerge. It is in this space of stillness that we discover the answers that external noise always drowned out, and the journey towards self-awareness becomes inevitable. In solitude, we are confronted with our purest reflection, stripped of others' expectations and judgments. Here, we are invited to explore every part of ourselves, to embrace our vulnerabilities, and to find the strength that has always been present, but that the outside world prevented us from seeing. Loneliness ceases to be a burden and becomes an ally, a companion that guides us toward our essence. Allow yourself to see solitude as a gateway to the discovery of your true self. It is the beginning of a journey that will reveal the greatness that exists within you, and in the company of your own soul, you will find the courage to walk the path of self-transformation and spiritual growth. In the silence of isolation, there are no distractions to mask who we truly are. It is as if, by distancing from the world, we draw closer to a more authentic version of ourselves. By looking inward, we are invited to explore the depths of our existence, confronting the fears we've hidden, the traumas we've avoided, and the parts of ourselves we've set aside. In this process, the truth reveals itself, without artifice or masks, and that which lay dormant begins to awaken. The self-reflection that arises in solitude brings an indescribable clarity. Our most genuine desires, dreams, and aspirations emerge from the shadows, showing us the path that has always been in front of us, but which we've ignored for so long. It is in this space of silence that true transformation begins, for it is here that we understand we don't need to be who others expect us to be, but rather who we truly are. This moment of isolation transforms into a crystal-clear mirror that reflects our essence, showing both the scars we carry and the brilliant potential that resides within us. And as we look at ourselves with honesty and compassion, we discover that the journey of self-transformation is, in reality, a journey of self-discovery and acceptance. In this moment of acceptance, we may feel the need to question the beliefs and expectations we carry, realizing the weight these influences have on our true identity. When we distance ourselves from the external world, we gain the space to perceive the weight that others' expectations and beliefs have placed upon us. This realization should be seen as a moment of liberation, where we allow ourselves to question the truths we have been conditioned to accept. In this state of isolation, we find the freedom to deconstruct everything that does not resonate with our essence. As the philosopher Friedrich Nietzsche once said, one must still have chaos in oneself to be able to give birth to a dancing star, highlighting how solitude leads us to discover that inner light. This silence offers us the chance to unravel our own truths, distancing ourselves from the illusions created by external pressures. It is the space where we can rediscover the values that truly matter, without the need to conform to standards that do not reflect who we genuinely are. By detaching ourselves from these influences, we find the lightness of being authentic, without masks or imposed expectations. This process is profoundly transformative, as it allows us to realize that we are not defined by what others expect of us. In solitude, we find the courage to rebuild our reality based on our own convictions, finally becoming the authors of our own journey. By taking the reins of our own story, we begin to realize that the love and acceptance that we seek in the external world can in fact be found within ourselves. In the stillness of solitude, the opportunity arises to learn how to be our own source of affection and acceptance. It is in this space, away from the voices that constantly seek to validate our existence, that self-love finds the ground to flourish. Without the need to please or meet external expectations, we discover the power of being our own company. As we break free from the incessant search for approval, we realize that we are enough just as we are. The emptiness we once sought to fill with others' acceptance is gradually replaced by the acknowledgement of our own light. In this process, self-love transforms into the source that nourishes and strengthens our essence, allowing insecurities to dissolve. Solitude, therefore, reveals itself as a fertile garden where we learn to cultivate kindness toward ourselves. It is there that we begin to celebrate our achievements, embrace our imperfections, and recognize that the validation that truly matters is the one that comes from within. And as we become our own allies, we build a genuine relationship with who we truly are. This relationship with ourselves creates space to recognize the value of our own energy, understanding how much it dissipates when directed outward, and it is in solitude that we finally reclaim it. By distancing ourselves from the constant flow of interactions and expectations, solitude offers us a space to recover the energy that is often dispersed in external demands. In this silence, our life force finds the opportunity to replenish itself, and what once felt like exhaustion transforms into renewed vitality. Without the weight of external influences, we gain greater clarity about where we are wasting our energy. It is in this moment of introspection that we understand the importance of establishing healthy boundaries. We realize that to preserve our well-being, we must define how far we will allow the external world to invade our internal space. In solitude, we learn to protect our essence, creating barriers that keep us centered and aligned with our true selves. Thus, solitude becomes a kind of internal fire, where we warm our souls and gain clarity about what is necessary to keep our energy in balance. By reclaiming our strength and establishing these boundaries, we become more aware of what we want to nurture and what we need to distance ourselves from, to continue growing. It is at this stage, as we reclaim our vital energy, that solitude transforms into fertile ground for the awakening of our true potential. Away from distractions and external influences, we can hear the wisdom that has always been within us, feeling our connection with the universe deepen with every moment of introspection. Here, in the quiet of solitude, we realize that we are co-creators of our reality. The understanding that the journey is not about seeking something outside of ourselves, but rather about revealing what already exists within us, becomes clear and unquestionable. Solitude reveals itself as a portal that leads us to explore our essence, where dormant skills and talents begin to awaken, and the power to manifest our reality intensifies. In this space, intuition becomes a reliable guide, and the inner voice strengthens, leading us to places we never imagined reaching. The spiritual journey becomes more than just a path, it transforms into an experience of self-discovery, where we become aware of our ability to create, transform, and expand. Thus, solitude prepares us to embrace our true potential, allowing our light to shine with all its intensity. In this moment of profound connection with our own being, we realize that being alone does not mean being helpless. On the contrary, it is in solitude that we find the most powerful and constant presence, our own. It is when we understand that the universe has always been within us, waiting for the moment when we would be willing to listen to it. By experiencing solitude, our connection with the divine becomes clearer, and the answers we once sought outside of ourselves are revealed within. This process shows us that the true source of love, happiness, and fulfillment is not something we must seek externally, but rather something that has always been latent in our hearts. Solitude then becomes a sacred dialogue between our soul and the universe, a space where we can align with the greater purpose that guides us. Therefore, by embracing this moment of introspection, we understand that it is the tool that guides us back to the home within ourselves, revealing that we were never truly alone. The true spiritual journey is not about being surrounded by others, but about discovering the depth of our own essence. In the end, solitude becomes our greatest ally, the silent voice that reminds us that, in our own company, we are complete and capable of manifesting our purest truth.